Key concepts for project integration management. The accountability of project integration management cannot be delegated or transferred. The project manager is the one who combines the results in all the other knowledge areas and has the overall view of the project. The project manager is ultimately responsible for the project as a whole. When additional risks associated with various staffing alternatives are identified, then one or more of those processes may be revisited. The project manager, risk owner, and project team member all share responsibility for the failure to complete the execution of the risk response. However, even though others share responsibility, the project manager is ultimately responsible, or, in other words, accountable, for the achievement of the project objectives. The project manager can delegate tasks and assignments but cannot delegate the accountability for ensuring that those tasks and assignments are completed. Project integration management is about ensuring that the deliverable due dates, project life cycle, and the benefits management plan are aligned. Providing a project management plan to achieve the project objectives. Ensuring the creation and the use of the appropriate knowledge to and from the project is necessary. Managing the performance and changes of the activities in the project management plan. Making integrated decisions regarding key changes impacting the project. Measuring and monitoring the project's progress and taking appropriate action to meet project objectives. Collecting data on the results achieved, analyzing the data to obtain information, and communicating this information to relevant stakeholders. Completing all the work of the project and formally closing each phase, contract, and the project as a whole, and managing phase transitions when necessary. One of the risk response plans is to procure a redundant air compressor to serve the valves in the gas station so that it will serve as a standby in case if the current air compressor has a failure. The risk owner has resigned from the company. Now, the risk occurs but the risk response plan is not implemented. Who is ultimately accountable for ensuring the implementation of the risk response plan? A. Team members. B. Developer. C. Specialist. D. Project manager. Let us see the answer. A. Team members. Incorrect. B. Developer. Incorrect. C. Specialist. Incorrect. D. Project manager. Correct. The project manager, risk owner, and project team member all share responsibility for the failure to complete the execution of the risk response. However, even though others share responsibility, the project manager is ultimately responsible, or, in other words, accountable, for the achievement of the project objectives. The project manager can delegate tasks and assignments but cannot delegate the accountability for ensuring that those tasks and assignments are completed. Trends and emerging practices in project integration management. The project integration management knowledge area requires combining the results from all the other knowledge areas. Evolving trends in integration processes include use of automated tools. The volume of data and information that project managers need to integrate makes it necessary to use a project management information system, PMIS, and automated tools to collect, analyze, and use information to meet project objectives and realize project benefits. Use of visual management tools. Some project teams use visual management tools, rather than written plans and other documents, to capture and oversee critical project elements. Project knowledge management. The increasingly mobile and transitory workforce requires a more rigorous process of identifying knowledge throughout the project life cycle and transferring it to the target audience so that the knowledge is not lost. Expanding the project manager's responsibilities. Project managers are being called on to initiate and finalize the project, such as project business case development and benefits management. Historically, these activities have been the responsibility of management and the project management office, but project managers are more frequently collaborating with them to better meet project objectives and deliver benefits. Hybrid methodologies. Some project management methodologies are evolving to incorporate successfully applied new practices. Examples include the use of Agile and other iterative practices. Business analysis techniques for requirements management. Tools for identifying complex elements in projects, and Organizational change management methods to prepare for transitioning the project outputs into the organization. An instrument scraping unit that manages projects for instrument scraping the cross-country pipeline submits reports to the inspection department to update it about the completed projects so that they can start their evaluation and actions. The inspection department complains that some of the reports are lost. What should be done to solve this issue? A. Introduce visual management tools including a project dashboard. B. Use networking between the two teams. C. Use meetings to ensure clear communication. D. Use methods for codifying explicit knowledge. Answer. A. Introduce visual management tools including a project dashboard. Correct. The use of visual management tools is one of the trends and emerging practices in project integration management. Some project teams use visual management tools, rather than written plans and other documents, to capture and oversee critical project elements. Making key project elements visible to the entire team provides a real-time overview of the project's status, facilitates knowledge transfer, and empowers the team members and other stakeholders to help identify and solve issues. B. Use networking between the two teams. Incorrect. C. Use meetings to ensure clear communication. Incorrect. D. Use methods for codifying explicit knowledge. Incorrect. Tailoring considerations. Because each project is unique, the project manager may need to tailor the way that project integration management processes are applied. Considerations for tailoring include: project life cycle. What is an appropriate project life cycle? Development life cycle. Is a predictive or adaptive approach appropriate? Management approaches. What management processes are most effective based on the organizational culture and the complexity of the project? Knowledge management. How will knowledge be managed in the project to foster a collaborative working environment? Change. How will change be managed in the project? Governance. What control boards, committees, and other stakeholders are part of the project? Lessons learned. What information should be collected throughout and at the end of the project? How will historical information and lessons learned be made available to future projects? Benefits. When and how should benefits be reported, at the end of the project or at the end of each iteration or phase? Considerations for agile and adaptive environments. Iterative and agile approaches promote the engagement of team members as local domain experts in integration management. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. The expectations of the project manager, as noted in the key concepts for integration management, do not change in an adaptive environment, but control of the detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the team. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative decision-making environment and ensuring the team has the ability to respond to changes. This collaborative approach can be further enhanced when team members possess a broad skill base rather than a narrow specialization. A project leader has a software project that is managed by Agile. The project team, which consists of developers, testers, and specialists who are experienced Agile practitioners. Which approach should be used to manage project integration? A. The project manager determine how plans and components should integrate. B. The expectations of the project manager in integration management change in an adaptive environment. C. Control of detailed product planning and delivery in an adaptive environment cannot be delegated to the team. D. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. Let us see the answer. A. The project manager determine how plans and components should integrate. Incorrect. B. The expectations of the project manager in integration management change in an adaptive environment. Incorrect. C. Control of detailed product planning and delivery in an adaptive environment cannot be delegated to the team. Incorrect. D. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. Correct. Iterative and agile approaches promote the engagement of team members as local domain experts in integration management. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. The expectations of the project manager as noted in the key concepts for integration management do not change in an adaptive environment, but control of the detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the team. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative decision-making environment and ensuring the team has the ability to respond to changes. This collaborative approach can be further enhanced when team members possess a broad skill base rather than a narrow specialization. In Agile projects to build online applications to help people do some services for others with adaptive environment. In this environment, what should the project manager do? A. Promote the engagement of project manager as local domain experts in integration management. B. The project manager determine how plans and components should integrate. C. Detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the project manager. D. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative decision-making environment. Answer. A. Promote the engagement of project manager as local domain experts in integration management. Incorrect. B. The project manager determine how plans and components should integrate. Incorrect. C. Detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the project manager. Incorrect. D. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative decision-making environment. Correct. Iterative and agile approaches promote the engagement of team members as local domain experts in integration management. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. The expectations of the project manager as noted in the key concepts for integration management do not change in an adaptive environment, but control of the detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the team. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative decision-making environment and ensuring the team has the ability to respond to changes. This collaborative approach can be further enhanced when team members possess a broad skill base rather than a narrow specialization. A project consists of 5 phases, each phase consists of a predictive approach and then an agile approach. With this change, what type of change in roles with respect to integration management? A. The role of the project manager will change from servant leadership to directive role. B. The project team members will work as a servant leader. C. The control of the detailed project work planning and product delivery is delegated to the project team members. D. The project team members will work in a directive role. Let us see the answer. A. The role of the project manager will change from servant leadership to directive role. Incorrect. B. The project team members will work as a servant leader. Incorrect. C. The control of the detailed project work planning and product delivery is delegated to the project team members. Correct. Iterative and agile approaches promote the engagement of team members as local domain experts in integration management. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. The expectations of the project manager as noted in the key concepts for integration management do not change in an adaptive environment, but control of the detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the team. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative decision-making environment and ensuring the team has the ability to respond to changes. This collaborative approach can be further enhanced when team members possess a broad skill base rather than a narrow specialization. D. The project team members will work in a directive role. Incorrect. A project manager has just completed the project management plan components in a predictive approach. Now, he is ready to develop the product in an iterative approach. What is the expectation in the current approach? A. Servant leadership and team delegation. B. More directive role to the project manager. C. Each team member is responsible for a single task. D. Less cooperative team. Let us see the answer. A. Servant leadership and team delegation. Correct. Iterative and agile approaches promote the engagement of team members as local domain experts in integration management. The team members determine how plans and components should integrate. The expectations of the project manager as noted in the key concepts for integration management do not change in an adaptive environment, but control of the detailed product planning and delivery is delegated to the team. The project manager's focus is on building a collaborative decision-making environment and ensuring the team has the ability to respond to changes. This collaborative approach can be further enhanced when team members possess a broad skill base rather than a narrow specialization. B. More directive role to the project manager. Incorrect. C. Each team member is responsible for a single task. Incorrect. D. Less cooperative team. Incorrect. Develop project charter is the process of developing a document that formally authorizes the existence of a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. The project charter establishes a partnership between the performing and requesting organizations. In the case of external projects, a formal contract is typically the preferred way to establish an agreement. A project charter may still be used to establish internal agreements within an organization to ensure proper delivery under the contract. A project manager is identified and assigned as early in the project as is feasible, preferably while the project charter is being developed and always prior to the start of planning. The project charter provides the project manager with the authority to plan, execute, and control the project. Projects are initiated by an entity external to the project such as a sponsor, program, or project management office, PMO, or a portfolio governing body chairperson or authorized representative. The project initiator or sponsor should be at a level that is appropriate to procure funding and commit resources to the project. Projects are initiated due to internal business needs or external influences. These needs or influences often trigger the creation of a needs analysis, feasibility study, business case, or description of the situation that the project will address. Chartering a project validates alignment of the project to the strategy and ongoing work of the organization. A project charter is not considered to be a contract because there is no consideration or money promised or exchanged in its creation. A project manager in a successful company in managing projects with best practices is taking over a group of projects through a joint venture with a company that has big failures in managing their projects. He notices that he does not have the authority to acquire resources. What is the main reason for the project failures? A. Lack of business case. B. Lack of benefits management plan. C. Lack of project charter. D. Lack of WBS. Let us see the answer. A. Lack of business case. Incorrect. B. Lack of benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Lack of project charter. Correct. D. Lack of WBS. Incorrect. A new project manager consults a senior project manager that he has no project charter for this project, therefore should he proceed with this project. What should the senior project manager answer be? A. Even without a project charter you are still authorized to use resources. B. Even without a project charter the scope is clear. C. Even without a project charter you have the management support. D. You have to get an approved charter, otherwise you are not authorized to use resources. Let us see the answer. A. Even without a project charter you are still authorized to use resources. Incorrect. B. Even without a project charter the scope is clear. Incorrect. C. Even without a project charter you have the management support. Incorrect. D. You have to get an approved charter, otherwise you are not authorized to use resources. Correct. The primary purpose of the charter is to formally authorize the project and, most importantly, to provide the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Without an approved charter the scope and nature of the project may not be clearly defined, or the project could progress in a direction that is not in alignment with the organization's objectives. The act of creating an approved charter shows management support for the project and the project manager. If the project starts without the project charter, the project may suffer from the lack of resources throughout its entire life cycle. The lack of resources is likely to lead to project failure, which will likely be perceived as the project manager's fault. The project charter has just been approved and therefore it authorizes the existence of a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. The sponsor asks you to share it with the stakeholders. Why? A. To describe the necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the expected outcomes of the project justify the required investment. B. To describe how and when the benefits of the project will be delivered, and to describe the mechanisms that should be in place to measure those benefits. C. To ensure there is a common understanding by the stakeholders of the key deliverables, milestones, and the roles and responsibilities of everyone involved in the project. D. To describe how the project will be executed, monitored and controlled, and closed. Let us see the answer. A. To describe the necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the expected outcomes of the project justify the required investment. Incorrect. This is the business case. B. To describe how and when the benefits of the project will be delivered, and to describe the mechanisms that should be in place to measure those benefits. Incorrect. This is the benefits management plan. C. To ensure there is a common understanding by the stakeholders of the key deliverables, milestones, and the roles and responsibilities of everyone involved in the project. Correct. D. To describe how the project will be executed, monitored and controlled, and closed. Incorrect. This is the project management plan. A client has just approved a contract with a contractor to start planning and executing the project. The contractor's project manager insists on developing a project charter for the project, but the client sees that they can save time by starting with planning the project. Why does the project manager insists on developing the project charter? A. To share the lessons learned. B. To share responsibility with the project team. C. To describe the necessary information from a business standpoint. D. To formalize the authority that has been assigned to the project manager and to gain commitment and acceptance for the project. Let us see the answer. A. To share the lessons learned. Incorrect. B. To share responsibility with the project team. Incorrect. C. To describe the necessary information from a business standpoint. Incorrect. D. To formalize the authority that has been assigned to the project manager and to gain commitment and acceptance for the project. Correct. During a presentation done by the project manager to present his project to the management. One member of the management asks a question and the response of the project manager is it can link the project to the strategic objectives of the performing organization. What is the question of the management member? A. What is the purpose of the project charter? B. What is the benefit of the project charter? C. When can you get the benefits of the project? D. What is the purpose of the business case? Let us see the answer. A. What is the purpose of the project charter? Incorrect. B. What is the benefit of the project charter? Correct. C. When can you get the benefits of the project? Incorrect. D. What is the purpose of the business case? Incorrect. While developing the project charter, the PMO plays a major role in the project, therefore the project manager always seeks their acceptance and approval. What type of role do the PMO play? A. Consultant. B. Sponsor. C. Expert judgment. D. Provide templates. Let us see the answer. A. Consultant. Incorrect. B. Sponsor. Correct. C. Expert judgment. Incorrect. D. Provide templates. Incorrect. A project manager is now busy in the construction of a petrochemical project. In the other hand, there are two other projects which are just being initiated and there is a big chance that they will be handed to him for execution once he complete his current project. What is the preferred idea for the project manager to do so that he can be aligned with the other two projects? A. Keep monitoring the other two projects. B. Ask the management that he wants to be involved in the initiation of the two projects. C. Maintain the success of his current project. D. Get the lessons learned from the current project and utilize them in the other project. Let us see the answer. A. Keep monitoring the other two projects. Incorrect. B. Ask the management that he wants to be involved in the initiation of the two projects. Correct. C. Maintain the success of his current project. Incorrect. D. Get the lessons learned from the current project and utilize them in the other project. Incorrect. In an oil and gas company, the business cases of the potential projects are being reviewed by the steering committee. Which one of the projects has more chance to be chartered? A. The one that has strong sponsor. B. The one that requires less funding. C. The one that has benefit management plan. D. The one that has strong project manager. Let us see the answer. A. The one that has strong sponsor. Correct. B. The one that requires less funding. Incorrect. C. The one that has benefit management plan. Incorrect. D. The one that has strong project manager. Incorrect. A petrochemical company uses multiple systems for materials, HR, finance, sales, and training from multiple vendors. This company wants to integrate all the systems in one system, so they need involve all vendors in this task. During the initiation of the integrating the systems, what should the company do? A. Develop a business case for each vendor. B. Develop a project charter for each vendor. C. Charter the project with all vendors. D. Develop a project management plan for each vendor. Let us see the answer. A. Develop a business case for each vendor. Incorrect. B. Develop a project charter for each vendor. Incorrect. C. Charter the project with all vendors. Correct. D. Develop a project management plan for each vendor. Incorrect. In order to manage customer expectations and direct the achievement of project goals, the project manager has to A. Identify potential risk based on project complexity. B. Identify project manpower based on organizational structure. C. Identify procurement approach based on contract types. D. Identify key deliverables based on the business requirements. Let us see the answer. A. Identify potential risk based on project complexity. Incorrect. B. Identify project manpower based on organizational structure. Incorrect. C. Identify procurement approach based on contract types. Incorrect. D. Identify key deliverables based on the business requirements. Correct. Inputs of developed project charter. The approved business case is used to create the project charter. The business case describes the necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the expected outcomes of the project justify the required investment. Typically, the business need and the cost-benefit analysis are contained in the business case to justify and establish boundaries for the project. The business case is created as a result of the following. Market demand, for example, an automobile manufacturer authorizing a project to build more fuel-efficient cars in response to gasoline shortages. Organizational need, for example, due to high overhead costs, a company may combine staff functions and streamline processes to reduce costs. Customer request, for example, an electric utility authorizing a project to build a new substation to serve a new industrial park. Technological advance, for example, an airline authorizing a new project to develop electronic tickets instead of paper tickets based on technological advances. Legal requirement, for example, a paint manufacturer authorizing a project to establish guidelines for handling toxic materials. Ecological impacts, for example, a company authorizing a project to lessen its environmental impact, or social need, for example, a non-governmental organization in a developing country authorizing a project to provide potable water systems, latrines, and sanitation education to communities suffering from high rates of cholera. The project manager does not update or modify the business documents. However, the project manager may make recommendations to the sponsor. A company that supplies fuel to the market wants to change loading of the trucks from top loading to bottom loading. In the business case for this project, which source serves as a trigger for the creation of the business case? A. ecological impact. B. Social need. C. Organizational need. D. Market demand. Let us see the answer. A. Ecological impact. Correct. B. Social need. Incorrect. C. Organizational need. Incorrect. D. Market demand. Incorrect. Carbon emissions can be reduced by the conversion of the loading of the fuel in the trucks from top loading to bottom loading. This is an example of what? A. Benefits management plan. B. Project management plan. C. Business case. D. Scope statement. Let us see the answer. A. Benefits management plan. Incorrect. B. Project management plan. Incorrect. C. Business case. Correct. D. Scope statement. Incorrect. While preparing the project charter, the project manager notices that the business case is not strict about the high environmental standards, which calls for the installation of special types of filters for environmental requirements. What should the project manager do? A. Escalate the issue with the business case to the project sponsor along with recommendations. B. Trust the business case and proceed with the development of the project charter. C. Develop the project management plan since there is a flexibility in the business case. D. Change the business case. Let us see the answer. A. Escalate the issue with the business case to the project sponsor along with recommendations. Correct. B. Trust the business case and proceed with the development of the project charter. Incorrect. C. Develop the project management plan since there is a flexibility in the business case. Incorrect. D. Change the business case. Incorrect. It is expected from a project manager to provide the necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the project is worth the investment. Which document is he preparing? A. Project charter. B. Benefits management plan. C. Project management plan. D. Business case. Let us see the answer. A. Project charter. Incorrect. B. Benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Project management plan. Incorrect. D. Business case. Correct. When he joins a project manager has to review the business case of the project. What for he is reviewing this document? A. To charter the project by first understanding the project's objectives and how it is expected to contribute to the business goals. B. To develop the project management plan. C. To develop the stakeholder register. D. To develop the benefits management plan. Let us see the answer. A. To charter the project by first understanding the project's objectives and how it is expected to contribute to the business goals. Correct. B. To develop the project management plan. Incorrect. C. To develop the stakeholder register. Incorrect. D. To develop the benefits management plan. Incorrect. The project manager wants to conduct a benefit analysis for the project. What should he review? A. Business case. B. Benefits management plan. C. Project charter. D. Project management plan. Let us see the answer. A. Business case. Correct. B. Benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Project charter. Incorrect. D. Project management plan. Incorrect. Agreements are used to define initial intentions for a project. Agreements may take the form of contracts, memorandums of understanding, service level agreements, letters of agreement, letters of intent, verbal agreements, email, or other written agreements. Typically, a contract is used when a project is being performed for an external customer. The enterprise environmental factors that can influence the develop project charter process include government or industry standards, legal and regulatory requirements or constraints, marketplace conditions, organizational culture and political climate, organizational governance framework, and stakeholders' expectations and risk thresholds. The organizational process assets that can influence the develop project charter process include organizational standard policies, processes, and procedures, portfolio, program, and project governance framework, monitoring and reporting methods, templates such as project charter template, and historical information and lessons learned repository. The project manager should assess the impact of internal and external influences such as enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets on the project implementation strategy. Also, the project charter will need to incorporate compliance with any applicable enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. While developing the project charter, the project manager needs the maintenance parameters such as MTBF, MTTR, MTTF, and MTTA. Where should he search for this input? A. Ask the client for the service level agreement. B. Ask the project team. C. Ask the sponsor. D. Ask the functional manager. Let us see the answer. A. Ask the client for the service level agreement. Correct. B. Ask the project team. Incorrect. C. Ask the sponsor. Incorrect. D. Ask the functional manager. Incorrect. While developing the project charter for the construction of an advanced hospital, the client has agreed with a research center to support the hospital researches in cancer issues. Which one of the following documents should the project manager review to prepare the project charter? A. Project management plan. B. Scope statement. C. Memorandum of understanding. D. WBS. Let us see the answer. A. Project management plan. Incorrect. B. Scope statement. Incorrect. C. Memorandum of understanding. Correct. D. WBS. Incorrect. An overseas company that manage and construct airports has got a project in a foreign country and now starts the initiation phase of the project. Which one of the following is of high importance at this phase? A. Provide the necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the project is worth the investment. B. Review the WBS. C. Review the scope statement. D. Review the legal and regulatory requirements such as labor rules in the foreign country. Answer. A. Provide the necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the project is worth the investment. Incorrect. B. Review the WBS. Incorrect. C. Review the scope statement. Incorrect. D. Review the legal and regulatory requirements such as labor rules in the foreign country. Correct. While developing the project charter, the project manager faces some challenges that are not under the immediate control of the project team. Which of the following could the project manager face? A. Organizational standard policies. B. Governance functions and processes. C. Marketplace conditions such as currency and legal requirements such as labor payment. D. Monitoring and reporting methods. Let us see the answer. A. Organizational standard policies. Incorrect. B. Governance functions and processes. Incorrect. C. Marketplace conditions such as currency fluctuations and legal requirements such as labor payment. Correct. D. Monitoring and reporting methods. Incorrect. While reviewing an initiation document that is ready for approval, the project manager notices that marketplace conditions are not considered in this document. Which one of the following should be considered to complete this document? A. Agreements. B. Project management plan. C. project statement of work. D. Enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A. Agreements. Incorrect. B. Project management plan. Incorrect. C. Project statement of work. Incorrect. D. Enterprise environmental factors. Correct. While developing the project charter, which one of the following should the sponsor or the project manager consider? A. Develop a risk response plan. B. Develop a WBS. C. Assess EF and OPA that may impact implementation strategy. D. Develop the supplier's selection list. Let us see the answer. A. Develop a risk response plan. Incorrect. B. Develop a WBS. Incorrect. C. Assess EF and OPA that may impact implementation strategy. Correct. D. Develop the supplier's selection list. Incorrect. An aluminum complex which consists of a refinery, smelter and a rolling mill is in the initiation phase. A certain type of filter needs to be installed to meet the environmental requirements. How might this situation influence the process currently underway? A. A risk response plan should be prepared. B. Spare filters should be maintained in the stock. C. The project charter should comply with the organizational process assets. D. The project charter should comply with enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A risk response plan should be prepared. Incorrect. B. Spare filters should be maintained in the stock. Incorrect. C. The project charter should comply with the organizational process assets. Incorrect. D. The project charter should comply with enterprise environmental factors. Correct. While developing the project charter, which one of the following should be considered? A. Develop the seller's list. B. Develop the risk response plans. C. Review the historical information and lessons learned repository. D. Develop the scope statement. Let us see the answer. A. Develop the seller's list. Incorrect. B. Develop the risk response plans. Incorrect. C. Review the historical information and lessons learned repository. Correct. D. Develop the scope statement. Incorrect. While developing the project charter, the project manager wants to learn from previous similar projects done by his company. What should he do to learn from previous projects? A. Search the enterprise environmental factors. B. Search lessons learned repository in the organizational process assets. C. Search the business case. D. Search the benefits management plan. Let us see the answer. A. Search the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. B. Search lessons learned repository in the organizational process assets. Correct. C. Search the business case. Incorrect. D. Search the benefits management plan. Incorrect. Tools and techniques of develop project charter. Expert judgment is defined as judgment provided based upon expertise in an application area, knowledge area, discipline, and industry as appropriate for the activity being performed. Such expertise may be provided by any group or person with specialized education, knowledge, skill, experience, or training. For this process, expertise should be considered from individuals with specialized knowledge of in the following topics: organizational strategy, benefits management, technical knowledge of the industry, duration and budget estimation, and risk identification. To prepare the high-level requirements, boundaries, and key deliverables for a project, the project manager does not have the expertise internally in the new technology of his project. What should he do to prepare high-level requirements? A. Outsource the project. B. Invite an expert in this technology. C. Train some of the engineers. D. Search for this technology. Let us see the answer. A. Outsource the project. Incorrect. B. Invite an expert in this technology. Correct. C. Train some of the engineers. Incorrect. D. Search for this technology. Incorrect. Data gathering techniques that can be used for this process include brainstorming. This technique is used to identify a list of ideas in a short period of time. It is led by a facilitator. Brainstorming can be used to gather data and solutions or ideas from stakeholders, subject matter experts, and team members when developing the project charter. Focus groups. Focus groups bring together stakeholders and subject matter experts to learn about the perceived project risk, success criteria, and other topics in a more conversational way than a one-on-one interview. Interviews are used to obtain information on high-level requirements, assumptions or constraints, approval criteria, and other information from stakeholders by talking directly to them. Interpersonal and team skills that can be used for this process include conflict management can be used to help bring stakeholders into alignment on the objectives, success criteria, high-level requirements, project description, summary milestones, and other elements of the charter. Facilitation is the ability to effectively guide a group event to a successful decision, solution, or conclusion. A facilitator ensures that there is effective participation, that participants achieve a mutual understanding, that all contributions are considered, that conclusions or results have full buy-in according to the decision process established for the project, and that the actions and agreements achieved are appropriately dealt with afterward. Meeting management includes preparing the agenda, ensuring that a representative for each key stakeholder group is invited, and preparing and sending the follow-up minutes and actions. Meetings are held with key stakeholders to identify the project objectives, success criteria, key deliverables, high-level requirements, summary milestones, and other summary information. While developing the project charter, a brainstorming session will be conducted. Which one of the following will add value to this session? A. Subject matter expert. B. Functional manager. C. WBS document. D. Scope statement document. Let us see the answer. A. Subject matter expert. Correct. B. Functional manager. Incorrect. C. WBS document. Incorrect. D. Scope statement document. Incorrect. While developing the project charter, which one of the following should be done to complete this task? A. Create a document that describe how project requirements will be analyzed, documented, and managed. B. Create a document that describe how the scope will be defined. C. Create a grid that links product requirements from their origin to the deliverables. D. Gather information from stakeholders. Let us see the answer. A. Create a document that describe how project requirements will be analyzed, documented, and managed. Incorrect. B. Create a document that describe how the scope will be defined. Incorrect. C. Create a grid that links product requirements from their origin to the deliverables. Incorrect. D. Gather information from stakeholders. Correct. While developing the project charter, the project manager facilitates a meeting with key stakeholders. What is the purpose of this meeting? A. Prepare for the project management plan. B. Prepare the project closeout documents. C. Identify key deliverables. D. Prepare risk response plans. Let us see the answer. A. Prepare for the project management plan. Incorrect. B. Prepare the project closeout documents. Incorrect. C. Identify key deliverables. Correct. D. Prepare risk response plans. Incorrect. Outputs of developed project charter. The project charter is the document issued by the project initiator or sponsor that formally authorizes the existence of a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. It documents the high-level information on the project and on the product, service, or result the project is intended to satisfy, such as project purpose, measurable project objectives and related success criteria, high-level requirements, high-level project description, boundaries, and key deliverables, overall project risk, summary milestone schedule, pre-approved financial resources, key stakeholder list, project approval requirements, project exit criteria, assigned project manager, responsibility, and authority level, and name and authority of the sponsor or other person authorizing the project charter. Assumption log. High-level strategic and operational assumptions and constraints are normally identified in the business case before the project is initiated and will flow into the project charter. The assumption log is used to record all assumptions and constraints throughout the project life cycle. When a project manager takes over a new project, which of the following has a higher priority? A. Having enough manpower. B. Having enough management reserves. C. Approved project charter. D. Having enough contracts. Let us see the answer. A. Having enough manpower. Incorrect. B. Having enough management reserves. Incorrect. C. Approved project charter. Correct. D. Having enough contracts. Incorrect. When the project charter is approved, which one of the following has higher priority for the project manager? A. Creating the WBS. B. Informing stakeholders of the approved project charter. C. Creating scope statement. D. Creating project requirements plan. Let us see the answer. A. Creating the WBS. Incorrect. B. Informing stakeholders. Correct. C. Creating scope statement. Incorrect. D. Creating project requirements plan. Incorrect. Once the project charter is approved, which one of the following is available for the stakeholders' review? A. Detailed project scope. B. Detailed project schedule. C. Detailed project cost. D. Project risk. Let us see the answer. A. Detailed project scope. Incorrect. B. Detailed project schedule. Incorrect. C. Detailed project cost. Incorrect. D. Project risk. Correct. During initiation phase of the project manager is defining the exit criteria of the project that if the project create a certain degree of pollution, then the project will be terminated. Where should he document this exit criteria? A. In the project management plan. B. In the benefits management plan. C. In the project charter. D. In the requirements management plan. Let us see the answer. A. In the project management plan. Incorrect. B. In the benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. In the project charter. Correct. D. In the requirements management plan. Incorrect. A project is in initiation phase and the project manager is able to identify high-level requirements, high-level project description, boundaries, and key deliverables, overall project risk, summary milestone schedule, pre-approved financial resources, key stakeholder list, project approval requirements, and project exit criteria. Where should he document all of those information? A. In the stakeholder register. B. In the project management information system. C. In the project charter. D. In business case. Let us see the answer. A. In the stakeholder register. Incorrect. B. In the project management information system. Incorrect. C. In the project charter. Correct. D. In business case. Incorrect. Develop project management plan is the process of defining, preparing, and coordinating all plant components. The project management plan defines how the project is executed, monitored and controlled, and closed. Each component plan is described to the extent required by the specific project. The project management plan's content varies depending on the application area and complexity of the project. The project management plan should be baselined, that is, it is necessary to define at least the project references for scope, time, and cost, so that the project execution can be measured and compared to those references and performance can be managed. Before the baselines are defined, the project management plan may be updated as many times as necessary. Once it is baselined, it may only be changed through the Perform Integrated Change Control process. Consequently, change requests will be generated and decided upon whenever a change is requested. Inputs of Developed Project Management Plan. Project Charter. The project team uses the project charter as a starting point for initial project planning. The type and amount of information in the project charter varies depending on the complexity of the project and the information known at the time of its creation. At a minimum, the project charter should define the high-level information about the project that will be elaborated in the various components of the project management plan. Outputs from other processes are integrated to create the project management plan. Subsidiary plans and baselines that are an output from other planning processes are inputs to this process. In addition, changes to these documents may necessitate updates to the project management plan. While reviewing the project management plan, a stakeholder notices that there is a difference between the components of this plan and the other ones he is familiar with. What is the reason for this difference? A. The project management plan's content varies depending on the application area and complexity of the project. B. The project management plan is an input to other processes. C. The project management plan will be changed throughout the life cycle of the project. D. Some project management plan contents can be reduced to reduce the cost of the project. Let us see the answer. A. The project management plan's content varies depending on the application area and complexity of the project. Correct. B. The project management plan is an input to other processes. Incorrect. C. The project management plan will be changed throughout the life cycle of the project. Incorrect. D. Some project management plan contents can be reduced to reduce the cost of the project. Incorrect. While developing the project management plan for an electrical cable project, the client asks a team member to change the route of the cable and the team member actions this change without an approved change request. The project manager agrees with what the team member does and he does not require any change request. Why is this action correct without an approved change request? A. Because the request is needed by the client. B. Because the project management plan is not approved and therefore the baseline is not yet established. C. Because this is a minor change. D. Because this is not part of the project management plan. Let us see the answer. A. Because the request is needed by the client. Incorrect. B. Because the project management plan is not approved and therefore the baseline is not yet established. Correct. C. Because this is a minor change. Incorrect. D. Because this is not part of the project management plan. Incorrect. While developing the project management plan for a pharmaceutical factory project, the project manager reviews the project charter. Which one of the following he needs from the project charter? A. Project exit criteria. B. How and when the benefits of the project will be delivered. C. The necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the expected outcomes of the project justify the required investment. D. Internal and external influences. Let us see the answer. A. Project exit criteria. Correct. B. How and when the benefits of the project will be delivered. Incorrect. C. The necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the expected outcomes of the project justify the required investment. Incorrect. D. Internal and external influences. Incorrect. The enterprise environmental factors that can influence the developed project management plan include government or industry standards, for example product standards, quality standards, safety standards, and workmanship standards. Legal and regulatory requirements or constraints. Project management body of knowledge for vertical market, for example construction. Organizational structure, culture, management practices, and sustainability. Organizational governance framework, and infrastructure, for example existing facilities and capital equipment. The organizational process assets that can influence the developed project management plan include organizational standard policies, processes, and procedures. Project management plan template, including guidelines and criteria for tailoring the organization's set of standard processes, and project closure guidelines or requirements such as the product validation and acceptance criteria. Change control procedures. Monitoring and reporting methods, risk control procedures, and communication requirements. Project information from previous similar projects, and historical information and lessons learned repository. While developing the project management plan, the project manager reviews the organizational process assets. Which one of the following he should consider while reviewing the organizational process assets? A. Lessons learned repository. B. Project exit criteria. C. Key stakeholder list. D. Summary milestone schedule. Let us see the answer. A. Lessons learned repository. Correct. This is part of the organizational process assets. B. Project exit criteria. Incorrect. This is part of the project charter. C. Key stakeholder list. Incorrect. This is part of the project charter. D. Summary milestone schedule. Incorrect. This is part of the project charter. After completing the project management plan, there is a conflict between two team members of what they should do next to get the plan approved. What should they do? A. Review the business case. B. Review the benefits management plan. C. Review the organizational process assets. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A. Review the business case. Incorrect. B. Review the benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Review the organizational process assets. Correct. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. A new project manager is provided by a template to be used once the project management plan is completed, but he is not sure whether this is the standard template used by the organization. What should he do to confirm the proper template? A. Review the business case. B. Review the benefits management plan. C. Review the organizational process assets. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A. Review the business case. Incorrect. B. Review the benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Review the organizational process assets. Correct. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. While developing the project management plan, the project manager reviews the project charter and he has some idea about the project. Since he is new to this organization, he wants to have an idea about similar projects done by the organization. What should he do? A. Review the business case. B. Review the benefits management plan. C. Review the organizational process assets. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A. Review the business case. Incorrect. B. Review the benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Review the organizational process assets. Correct. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. While attending a meeting to finalize and approve the project management plan by stakeholders, the project manager notices that some of the stakeholders invited by the team members should not attend this meeting. Where should he refer so that he knows who should be attending this meeting? A. Review the business case. B. Review the benefits management plan. C. Review the organizational process assets. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A. Review the business case. Incorrect. B. Review the benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Review the organizational process assets. Correct. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. After completing the project management plan and inviting all stakeholders to the kickoff meeting, a team member who worked on a similar project suggests to the project manager that since there was too much conflict in that meeting, he should review the minutes of that meeting. Where can the project manager find this information? A. Review the business case. B. Review the benefits management plan. C. Review the organizational process assets. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A. Review the business case. Incorrect. B. Review the benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Review the organizational process assets. Correct. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. Tools and techniques of develop project management plan. Expert judgment. Expertise should be considered from individuals with specialized knowledge in the following topics. Tailoring the project management process to meet the project needs, including the dependencies and interactions among those processes and the essential inputs and outputs. Developing additional components of the project management plan if needed. Determining the tools and techniques to be used for accomplishing those processes. Developing technical and management details to be included in the project management plan. Determining resources and skill levels needed to perform project work. Defining the level of configuration management to apply on the project. Determining which project documents will be subject to the formal change control process, and prioritizing the work on the project to ensure the project resources are allocated to the appropriate work at the appropriate time. Data gathering techniques that can be used for this process include: brainstorming is frequently used when developing the project management plan to gather ideas and solutions about the project approach. Attendees include the project team members, although other subject matter experts, SMEs, or stakeholders may also participate. Checklists. Many organizations have standardized checklists available based on their own experience or use checklists from the industry. A checklist may guide the project manager to develop the plan or may help to verify that all the required information is included in the project management plan. Focus groups bring together stakeholders to discuss the project management approach and the integration of the different components of the project management plan. Interviews are used to obtain specific information from stakeholders to develop the project management plan or any component plan or project document. While gathering the data to develop the project management plan, a checklist is provided to the project manager to be used to gather data, but he is not sure whether this is the standard checklist used by the organization. How can he validate that this is the standardized checklist? A. Review the business case. B. Review the benefits management plan. C. Review the organizational process assets. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Let us see the answer. A. Review the business case. Incorrect. B. Review the benefits management plan. Incorrect. C. Review the organizational process assets. Correct. D. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. While gathering the data to develop the project management plan, which of the following tools and techniques are most suitable to gather data? A. Brainstorming, focus group, and interviews. B. Decision making. C. Data analysis. D. knowledge management and information management. Let us see the answer. A. Brainstorming, focus group, and interviews. Correct. B. Decision making. Incorrect. C. Data analysis. Incorrect. D. Knowledge management and information management. Incorrect. The interpersonal and team skills used when developing the project management plan include: conflict management may be necessary to bring diverse stakeholders into alignment on all aspects of the project management plan. Facilitation ensures that there is effective participation, that participants achieve a mutual understanding, that all contributions are considered, and that conclusions or results have full buy-in according to the decision process established for the project. Meeting management is necessary to ensure that the numerous meetings that are necessary to develop, unify, and agree on the project management plan are well run. Meetings. For this process, meetings are used to discuss the project approach, determine how work will be executed to accomplish the project objectives, and establish the way the project will be monitored and controlled. The project kickoff meeting purpose is to communicate the objectives of the project, gain the commitment of the team for the project, and explain the roles and responsibilities of each stakeholder. For small projects, there is usually only one team that performs the planning and the execution. In this case, the kickoff occurs shortly after initiation, in the planning process group, because the team is involved in planning. In large projects, a project management team normally does the majority of the planning, and the remainder of the project team is brought on when the initial planning is complete, at the start of the development and implementation. In this instance, the kickoff meeting takes place with processes in the executing process group. Multi-phase projects will typically include a kickoff meeting at the beginning of each phase. After completing the project management plan, all stakeholders are invited to a kickoff meeting. What is the purpose of the kickoff meeting? A. Identify potential risks. B. Identify potential contractors. C. Identify additional stakeholders. D. Gain the commitment of the team and engage the stakeholders. Let us see the answer. A. Identify potential risks. Incorrect. B. Identify potential contractors. Incorrect. C. Identify additional stakeholders. Incorrect. D. Gain the commitment of the team and engage the stakeholders. Correct. Once the project management plan has been approved, the execution of the project starts with less commitment of the team and no clear the roles and responsibilities of each stakeholder. Which tool and technique should the project manager implement? A. Conflict management. B. Focus group. C. Kickoff meeting. D. Brainstorming. Let us see the answer. A. Conflict management. Incorrect. B. Focus group. Incorrect. C. Kickoff meeting. Correct. D. Brainstorming. Incorrect. A $3 billion project represents a refinery and a petrochemical complex that is very large in size. When is the best time to conduct the kickoff meeting for such a project? A. At the end of the initiation. B. At the start of the planning. C. At the start of the execution. D. In the middle of the planning. Let us see the answer. A. At the end of the initiation. Incorrect. B. At the start of the planning. Incorrect. C. At the start of the execution. Correct. D. In the middle of the planning. Incorrect. A small 12 crude oil bypass project will be initiated soon. When is the best time to conduct the kickoff meeting? A. During project execution. B. During project planning. C. At the start of project planning. D. After the start of the project initiation. Let us see the answer. A. During project execution. Incorrect. B. During project planning. Incorrect. C. At the start of project planning. Incorrect. D. After the start of the project initiation. Incorrect. Outputs of developed project management plan. The project management plan is the document that describes how the project will be executed, monitored and controlled, and closed. Project management plan components include subsidiary management plans. Scope management plan establishes how the scope will be defined, developed, monitored, controlled, and validated. Requirements management plan establishes how the requirements will be analyzed, documented, and managed. Schedule management plan establishes the criteria and the activities for developing, monitoring, and controlling the schedule. Cost management plan establishes how the costs will be planned, structured, and controlled. Quality management plan establishes how an organization's quality policies, methodologies, and standards will be implemented in the project. Resource management plan provides guidance on how project resources should be categorized, allocated, managed, and released. Communications management plan establishes how, when, and by whom information about the project will be administered and disseminated. Risk management plan establishes how the risk management activities will be structured and performed. Procurement management plan establishes how the project team will acquire goods and services from outside of the performing organization. Stakeholder engagement plan establishes how stakeholders will be engaged in project decisions and execution, according to their needs, interests, and impact. Baselines. Scope baseline. The approved version of a scope statement, work breakdown structure, WBS, and its associated WBS dictionary, which is used as a basis for comparison. Schedule baseline. The approved version of the schedule model that is used as a basis for comparison to the actual results. Cost baseline. The approved version of the time-phased project budget that is used as a basis for comparison to the actual results. Change management plan describes how the change requests throughout the project will be formally authorized and incorporated. Configuration management plan describes how the information about the items of the project, and which items, will be recorded and updated so that the product, service, or result of the project remains consistent or operative. Performance measurement baseline. An integrated scope schedule cost plan for the project work against which project execution is compared to measure and manage performance. Project life cycle describes the series of phases that a project passes through from its initiation to its closure. Development approach. Describes the product, service, or result development approach, such as predictive, iterative, agile, or a hybrid model. Management reviews. Identifies the points in the project when the project manager and relevant stakeholders will review the project progress to determine if performance is as expected, or if preventive or corrective actions are necessary. A project manager reviews the project management plan and finds that an item against which the project execution is compared to measure and manage the performance is missing. Which item is missing? A. Scope management plan. B. Cost management plan. C. Schedule baseline management plan. D. Performance measurement baseline. Let us see the answer. A. Scope management plan. Incorrect. B. Cost management plan. Incorrect. C. Schedule baseline management plan. Incorrect. D. Performance measurement baseline. Correct. Direct and manage project work is the process of leading and performing the work defined in the project management plan and implementing approved changes to achieve the project's objectives. Direct and manage project work involves executing the planned project activities to complete project deliverable. Available resources are allocated, their efficient use is managed, and changes in project plans stemming from analyzing work performance data and information are carried out. Direct and manage project work also requires the implementation of approved changes, corrective action, preventive action, and defect repair. During project execution, the work performance data is collected and communicated to the applicable controlling processes for analysis. Work performance data analysis provides information about the completion status of deliverables. The work performance data will also be used as an input to the monitoring and controlling process group, and can be used as feedback into lessons learned to improve the performance of future work packages. A hybrid project that is managed by a project management plan and the product is produced through a product backlog. The project manager is now performing the project work. Which one of the following activities is performed now? A. Develop the business case. B. Develop the risk response plans. C. Develop the project contracts. D. Implement approved change requests. Let us see the answer. A. Develop the business case. Incorrect. B. Develop the risk response plans. Incorrect. C. Develop the project contracts. Incorrect. D. Implement approved change requests. Correct. A hybrid project that is managed by a project management plan and the product is produced through a product backlog. The project manager is now performing the project work. What should the project manager focus on during the executing processes? A. Implementing risk response plans. B. Implementing contract activities. C. Coordinating people and resources. D. Implementing work activities. Let us see the answer. A. Implementing risk response plans. Incorrect. B. Implementing contract activities. Incorrect. C. Coordinating people and resources. Correct. D. Implementing work activities. Incorrect. A project consists of 6 phases. The first phase is successful and the project manager wants to make a celebration for the team to celebrate their success and share their lessons learned. Where can the project manager use the lessons learned? A. In controlling processes. B. In direct and manage project work. C. In monitor and control project work. D. In perform integrated change control. Let us see the answer. A. In controlling processes. Incorrect. B. In direct and manage project work. Correct. During project execution, the work performance data is collected and communicated to the applicable controlling processes for analysis. Work performance data analysis provides information about the completion status of deliverables. The work performance data will also be used as an input to the monitoring and controlling process group, and can be used as feedback into lessons learned to improve the performance of future work packages. C. In monitor and control project work. Incorrect. D. In perform integrated change control. Incorrect. Inputs of direct and manage project work. Project management plan. Any component of the project management plan may be an input to this process. Change log. The change log contains the status of all change requests. Lessons learned register. Lessons learned are used to improve the performance of the project and to avoid repeating mistakes. The register helps identify where to set rules or guidelines so the team's actions are aligned. The milestone list shows the scheduled dates for specific milestones. Project communications include performance reports, deliverable status, and other information generated by the project. Project schedule. The schedule includes at least the list of work activities, their durations, resources, and planned start and finish dates. The requirements traceability matrix links product requirements to the deliverables that satisfy them and helps to focus on the final outcomes. The risk register provides information on threats and opportunities that may impact project execution. The risk report provides information on sources of overall project risk along with summary information on identified individual project risks. Approved change requests are an output of the perform integrated change control process, and include those requests reviewed and approved for implementation by the project manager or by the change control board when applicable. The approved change requests are then implemented through the direct and manage project work process. In the case of a defect repair, once the repair has been completed, the control quality process is performed to verify the repair has been correctly done. In case of the modifications to the terms and conditions of the contract, the change request is implemented as part of the control procurements process. The enterprise environmental factors that can influence the direct and manage project work process include organizational structure, culture, management practices, and sustainability, infrastructure, and stakeholder risk thresholds. Organizational process assets that can influence the direct and manage project work include organizational standard policies, processes, and procedures. Issue and defect management procedures. Issue and defect management database. Performance measurement database. Change control and risk control procedures, and project information from previous projects. When the project is in commissioning phase and near to its end, a change request is approved to do some replace the defective valve. What should be done next? A. Replace the valve. B. Consult with CCB. C. Review the project management plan. D. Ignore the change since the project will be closed soon. Let us see the answer. A. Replace the valve. Correct. The approved change request may be a corrective action, a preventive action, or a defect repair. Approved change requests are scheduled and implemented by the project team and can impact any area of the project or project management plan. The approved change requests can also modify the formally controlled project management plan components or project documents. B. Consult with CCB. Incorrect. C. Review the project management plan. Incorrect. D. Ignore the change since the project will be closed soon. Incorrect. A project is facing so many changes such as corrective action, preventive action, or defect repair. Some of the changes are to repair equipment and others to change the currency of the contract and the milestone schedule. Which of the following processes is likely to be performed as a result of the approved change requests? Select 3 answer. A. Control procurements. B. Identify risks. C. Control quality. D. Direct and manage project work. Let us see the answer. In the case of a defect repair, once the repair has been completed, the control quality process is performed to verify the repair has been correctly done. In case of the modifications to the currency of the contract and the milestone schedule, the change request is implemented as part of the control procurements process. A. Control procurements. Correct. B. Identify risks. Incorrect. C. Control quality. Correct. D. Direct and manage project work. Correct. A change request has been approved to do a hot tapping and stoppling for a pipeline to install a bypass. When the team is ready to implement the change, the project manager finds that with little change to the procedure, the job will be done faster and with more safety precautions. What should the project manager do? A. Review the change management plan whether the change request require reapproval. B. Review the risk management plan. C. Implement the new change since it is minor change. D. This is a scope creep so it should be rejected. Let us see the answer. A. Review the change management plan whether the change request require reapproval. Correct. B. Review the risk management plan. Incorrect. C. Implement the new change since it is minor change. Incorrect. D. This is a scope creep so it should be rejected. Incorrect. Tools and techniques of direct and manage project work. Expert judgment. Expertise should be considered from individuals with specialized knowledge in the following topics. Technical knowledge on the industry. Cost and budget management. Legal and procurement. Legislation and regulations, and organizational governance. Project Management Information System provides access to information technology software tools, such as scheduling software tools, work authorization systems, configuration management systems, information collection and distribution systems, as well as interfaces to other online automated systems such as corporate knowledge base repositories. Automated gathering and reporting on key performance indicators can be part of this system. Meetings are used to discuss and address pertinent topics of the project when directing and managing project work. Attendees may include the project manager, the project team, and appropriate stakeholders involved or affected by the topics addressed. Each attendee should have a defined role to ensure appropriate participation. Types of meetings include but are not limited to kickoff, technical, sprint or iteration planning, Scrum daily stand-ups, steering group, problem solving, progress update, and retrospective meetings. A project manager has a consultant to help implement and approve change requests for a new government regulation regarding environmental issues. What tool is the project manager using? A. Expert judgment. B. Facilitation. C. Political awareness. D. Decision making. Let us see the answer. A. Expert judgment. Correct. B. Facilitation. Incorrect. C. Political awareness. Incorrect. D. Decision making. Incorrect. Before commissioning a production line, an approved change request has been received by the project manager to improve the production capacity. The technical knowledge required to implement this change is not available within the project team. What should the project manager do? A. Reject the change request. B. Consult the change management plan. C. Identify the risks. D. Outsource a qualified consultant. Let us see the answer. A. Reject the change request. Incorrect. B. Consult the change management plan. Incorrect. C. Identify the risks. Incorrect. D. Outsource a qualified consultant. Correct. Outputs of direct and managed project work. Deliverables. A deliverable is any unique and verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service that is required to be produced to complete a process, phase, or project. Deliverables are typically the outcomes of the project and can include components of the project management plan. Change control should be applied once the first version of a deliverable has been completed. The control of the multiple versions or additions of a deliverable, for example documents, software, and building blocks, is supported by configuration management tools and procedures. Agile teams measure results. Agile favors value-based measurements instead of predictive measurements. Agile measures what the team delivers, not what the team predicts it will deliver. Agile is based on working products of demonstrable value to customers. In Agile, the team limits its estimation to the next few weeks at most. In Agile, if there is low variability in the team's work and if the team members are not multitasking, the team's capacity can become stable. This allows better prediction for the next couple of weeks. After the team completes work in iteration, the team can replan. Once the team establishes a reliable velocity, average stories or story points per iteration, or the average cycle time, the team can predict how much longer the project will take. As an example, if the team averages 50 story points per iteration, and the team estimates there are about another 500 points remaining, the team estimates it has about 10 iterations remaining. If the team averages a cycle time of 3 days per story and there are 30 remaining stories, the team would have 90 business days remaining, approximately 4 to 5 months. Each team has its own capacity. When a team uses story points, be aware that the number of story points a team can complete in a given time is unique to that team. When teams provide their own units of measure, teams are better able to assess and estimate and deliver their work. The downside of relative estimation is that there is no way to compare teams or add velocity across teams. For example, if the first team accomplishes 100 story points in per sprint while the second team accomplishes 50 story points per sprint, that does not mean the first team has more velocity. Daily stand-ups. Teams use stand-ups to micro-commit to each other, uncover problems, and ensure the work flows smoothly through the team. Time box the stand-up to no longer than 15 minutes. The team walks the Kanban or task board in some way, and anyone from the team can facilitate the stand-up. In iteration-based Agile, everyone answers the following questions in a round-robin fashion. What did I complete since the last stand-up? What am I planning to complete between now and the next stand-up? What are my impediments, or risks or problems? Questions like these generate answers that allow the team to self-organize and hold each other accountable for completing the work they committed to the day before and throughout the iteration. Flow-based Agile has a different approach to stand-ups, focusing on the team's throughput. The team assesses the board from right to left. The questions are: what do we need to do to advance this piece of work? Is anyone working on anything that is not on the board? What do we need to finish as a team? Are there any bottlenecks or blockers to the flow of work? One of the anti-patterns typically seen in stand-ups is they become status meetings. Another anti-pattern typically seen in stand-ups is that the team begins to solve problems as they become apparent. Stand-ups are for realizing there are problems, not for solving them. Add the issues to a parking lot, and then create another meeting, which might be right after the stand-up, and solve problems there. Work performance data. Work performance data are the raw observations and measurements identified during activities being performed to carry out the project work. Data are often viewed as the lowest level of detail from which information is derived by other processes. Data is gathered through work execution and passed to the controlling processes for further analysis. Examples of work performance data include work completed, key performance indicators, technical performance measures, actual start and finish dates of schedule activities, story points completed, deliverable status, schedule progress, number of change requests, number of defects, actual costs incurred, and actual durations. The actual cost of a hospital project is $13 million. Preventive and corrective change requests are 32. There is also 5,000 hours completed. What is this information called? A. Work performance report. B. Work performance data. C. Work performance information. D. Minutes of meeting. Let us see the answer. A. Work performance report. Incorrect. B. Work performance data. Correct. C. Work performance information. Incorrect. D. Minutes of meeting. Incorrect. In an Agile project, a project manager has been asked by a sponsor about comparing the story points of his team with the story points of others' teams as a measure for accomplishment of his team. What is the correct response of the project manager? A. The number of story points a team can complete in a given time is unique to that team. B. Same number of story points per iteration for two teams means same velocity. C. A story point is a standard story point for all teams. D. Story points are comparable for all teams. Let us see the answer. A. The number of story points a team can complete in a given time is unique to that team. Correct. B. Same number of story points per iteration for two teams. Means same velocity. Incorrect. C. A story point is a standard story point for all teams. Incorrect. D. Story points are comparable for all teams. Incorrect. During an iteration of an Agile project and while developing a new application, it is discovered that a critical technical requirement is missing. What is the best approach to surface this problem? A. Check if this is an identified risk. B. Document it in the issue log. C. Review the product backlog. D. Highlight it as an impediment during the daily Scrum meeting. Let us see the answer. A. Check if this is an identified risk. Incorrect. B. Document it in the issue log. Incorrect. C. Review the product backlog. Incorrect. D. Highlight it as an impediment during the daily Scrum meeting. Correct. The project manager notices that the current method of manual progress reporting is not effective as well as it cannot include more KPIs in directing, managing, monitoring, and controlling project work. What is the best tool to use to serve this objective? A. Use knowledge management. B. Use mind mapping. C. Use project management information system. D. Use nominal group technique. Let us see the answer. A. Use knowledge management. Incorrect. B. Use mind mapping. Incorrect. C. Use project management information system. Correct. D. Use nominal group technique. Incorrect. During directing and managing project work, the project team is able to produce work performance data such as work completed, technical performance measures, actual start and finish dates of schedule activities, deliverable status, schedule progress, actual costs incurred, and actual durations. What are others considered as work performance data? A. Key performance indicators, story points completed, number of change requests, number of defects. B. Cost performance indicator. C. Schedule performance indicator. D. How the project is performing. Let us see the answer. A. Key performance indicators, story points completed, number of change requests, number of defects. Correct. B. Cost performance indicator. Incorrect. C. Schedule performance indicator. Incorrect. D. How the project is performing. Incorrect. Issue log. Throughout the life cycle of a project, the project manager will normally face problems, gaps, inconsistencies, or conflicts that occur unexpectedly and that require some action so they do not impact the project performance. The issue log is a project document where all the issues are recorded and tracked. Data on issues may include issue type, who raised the issue and when, description, priority, who is assigned to the issue, target resolution date, status, and final solution. The issue log will help the project manager effectively track and manage issues, ensuring that they are investigated and resolved. Change requests. A change request is a formal proposal to modify any document, deliverable, or baseline. When issues are found while project work is being performed, change requests can be submitted, which may modify project policies or procedures, project or product scope, project cost or budget, project schedule, or quality of the project or product results. Other change requests cover the needed preventive or corrective actions to forestall negative impact later in the project. Any project stakeholder may request a change. Change requests are processed for review and disposition through the Perform Integrated Change Control process. Change requests can be initiated from inside or outside the project, and they can be optional or legally/contractually mandated. Change requests may include corrective action, an intentional activity that realigns the performance of the project work with the project management plan. Preventive action, an intentional activity that ensures the future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. Defect repair, an intentional activity to modify a non-conforming product or product component. Updates, changes to formally controlled project documents, plans, etc., to reflect modified or additional ideas or content. During a daily stand-up meeting, one of the team members highlights that the customer does not accept one of the features of the application since it is not considered complete. What should be done first to resolve this issue? A. Document the impediment in the issue log. B. Perform the control quality process. C. Review the stakeholders' expectations. D. Review the scope baseline. Let us see the answer. A. Document the impediment in the issue log. Correct. The daily stand-up objective is to surface issues that cause an impediment to the project team's progress. However, resolutions of the impediments are not typically discussed at the daily stand-ups. The project manager should capture the impediment in the issue log so that it can be assigned and tracked to a resolution. B. Perform the control quality process. Incorrect. C. Review the stakeholders' expectations. Incorrect. D. Review the scope baseline. Incorrect. A software developer works for a considerable time of his career in Agile projects. Now, he works as a project manager for a project that is managed with a predictive approach. The project manager is surprised that predictive approach always refers to a baseline when changes exist instead of adapting to change in agile projects. The project manager consults a senior project manager in predictive approach projects. What should the senior manager tell him when dealing with changes in predictive approach? A. It is preventive action. B. It is adaptive action. C. It incremental action. D. It is corrective action. Let us see the answer. A. It is preventive action. Incorrect. B. It is adaptive action. Incorrect. C. It incremental action. Incorrect. D. It is corrective action. Correct. Traditional managers are constantly trying to correct actual results to a baseline, which is referred to as corrective action and is used to guide the project team back to the original plan. Agile project leaders are interested in reacting and adapting to project events rather than following a predictive plan, which is referred to as adaptive action, and is used to determine what actions to take to adapt to the plan rather than to get back in line with the original plan. The products produced by a production line have some deviation from the required specifications due to a defect in one of the parts of the production line. A change request has been approved to replace this part. The part has been replaced. Where should this final solution be documented? A. In the project scope statement. B. In the project management information system. C. In the issue log. D. In the lessons learned repository. Let us see the answer. A. In the project scope statement. Incorrect. B. In the project management information system. Incorrect. C. In the issue log. Correct. The problem should have been captured in the issue log when it occurred. Once the approved change request has been successfully implemented, the issue log should be updated to reflect the final solution. D. In the lessons learned repository. Incorrect. The third-party inspector for a pressure vessels project finds that the revision of the pressure vessels documents against which the pressure vessels should be inspected is different than the revision that the manufacturer has. Therefore, he informs the project manager. What should the project manager do? A. Ask the inspector to stop the work. B. Document it in the issue log. C. Refer to the document with the inspector. D. Refer to the document of the manufacturer. Let us see the answer. A. Ask the inspector to stop the work. Incorrect. B. Document it in the issue log. Correct. The issue log is a project document where all issues are recorded and tracked. Data on issues may include the issue type, who raised the issue and when, description, priority, who is assigned to the issue, target resolution date, status, and final resolution. Having two different versions of the same document leading to a dispute between the team members and potentially resulting in incorrectly developed project deliverables is definitely an issue. Capturing this issue in the issue log is what the project manager should do first. C. Refer to the document with the inspector. Incorrect. D. Refer to the document of the manufacturer. Incorrect. During the inspection of pipeline manufacturing process, the inspector discovers that the process that will be used to manufacture the piping will be different than the process approved by the client engineering standards. The inspector informs the project manager. What should the project manager do? A. Proceed with the manufacturing. B. Document it in the issue log. C. Consult the engineer who is maintaining the standards. D. Review the change management plan. Let us see the answer. A. Proceed with the manufacturing. Incorrect. B. Document it in the issue log. Correct. C. Consult the engineer who is maintaining the standards. Incorrect. D. Review the change management plan. Incorrect. A small crack is discovered in an air compressor. The crack has been repaired and the air compressor is returned to service. What type of action has been done? A. Preventive action. B. corrective action. C. Defect repair. D. Adaptive action. Let us see the answer. A. Preventive action. Incorrect. B. Corrective action. Incorrect. C. Defect repair. Correct. D. Adaptive action. Incorrect. A project to build caustic soda tanks is ready for construction. The project manager wants to use some safety precautions for the welder's safety who suffers from safety incidents in the past projects. What best describes the action that have been taken by the project manager? A. Corrective action. B. Defect repair. C. Proactive action. D. Preventative action. Let us see the answer. A. Corrective action. Incorrect. B. Defect repair. Incorrect. C. Proactive action. Incorrect. D. Preventative action. Correct. While testing a gas turbine pump, it is found that the pump has frequent trips. Therefore, the problem is solved to prevent it from occurring again. What best describes the solution of this problem? A. Corrective action. B. Defect repair. C. Proactive action. D. Preventative action. Let us see the answer. A. Corrective action. Correct. B. Defect repair. Incorrect. C. Proactive action. Incorrect. D. Preventative action. Incorrect. While building tanks for jet fuel product, the IATA standards recommends using a certain type of internal paint so that the paint will not dissolve with the jet fuel product. This is to avoid problems happened in past incidents due to jet fuel which was affected by the internal paint of the tank. This is an example of what? A. Corrective action. B. Defect repair. C. Proactive action. D. Preventative action. Let us see the answer. A. Corrective action. Incorrect. B. Defect repair. Incorrect. C. Proactive action. Incorrect. D. Preventative action. Correct. During executing the project of a tank farm, the number of tanks have been reduced from 6 to 3 tanks, therefore the approved budget is higher than what is needed. What should the project manager do? A. Use the contingency reserves. B. Use the management reserves. C. Release the additional budget to other projects. D. Initiate a change request. Let us see the answer. A. Use the contingency reserves. Incorrect. B. Use the management reserves. Incorrect. C. Release the additional budget to other projects. Incorrect. D. Initiate a change request. Correct. A defect has been found in a control valve. To repair it, it will cost $6,000 while it will cost $20,000 to replace it. What should the project manager do? A. Repair it. B. Replace it. C. Submit a change request. D. Consult the change control board. Let us see the answer. A. Repair it. Incorrect. B. Replace it. Incorrect. C. Submit a change request. Correct. Whether the deliverable is replaced or repaired, a change request is required. In the scenario provided, only costs have been analyzed so far. Additional project aspects, such as schedule, risk, quality, and customer satisfaction should be considered to render a decision. D. Consult the change control board. Incorrect. A defensive ministry wants to replace the current radar system with another one that has a range of 200 miles. During the execution of the project, it is found that the available radar system has a range of 150 miles only. To meet the requirements of 200 miles range, the schedule will be impacted. What should the project manager do? A. Submit a change request. B. Fast-track the project schedule. C. Increase the budget. D. Identify the risk. Let us see the answer. A. Submit a change request. Correct. B. Fast-track the project schedule. Incorrect. C. Increase the budget. Incorrect. D. Identify the risk. Incorrect. Project management plan updates. Any change to the project management plan goes through the organization's change control process via a change request. Any component of the project management plan may require a change request as a result of this process. Activity list. The activity list may be updated with additional or modified activities to be performed to complete project work. Assumption log. New assumptions and constraints may be added, and the status of existing assumptions and constraints may be updated or closed out. Lessons learned register. Any lessons learned that will improve performance for current or future projects is recorded as it is learned. Requirements documentation. New requirements may be identified during this process. Progress on meeting requirements can also be updated. Risk register. New risks may be identified and existing risks may be updated during this process. Risks are recorded in the risk register via risk management processes. Stakeholder register. Where additional information on existing or new stakeholders is gathered as a result of this process, it is recorded in the stakeholder register. Organizational process assets updates. Any organizational process asset can be updated as a result of this process. In a petrochemical complex, any change to the specifications that will affect the required specifications will be alarmed, then this problem will be solved manually. The project manager has a proposal to change this procedure and automate the action to maintain the required specifications. A change request has been approved to make this modification. The new procedure should be updated in all the following documents. Select 3. A. Quality management plan. B. Assumption log. C. Lessons learned register. D. Organizational process assets. Let us see the answer. A. Quality management plan. Correct. B. Assumption log. Incorrect. C. Lessons learned register. Correct. D. Organizational process assets. Correct. Manage project knowledge. Manage project knowledge is the process of using existing knowledge and creating new knowledge to achieve the project's objectives and contribute to organizational learning. Knowledge is commonly split into explicit knowledge that can be readily codified using words, pictures, and numbers, and tacit knowledge that is personal and difficult to express, such as beliefs, insights, experience, and know-how. Sharing knowledge. Knowledge management is concerned with managing both tacit and explicit knowledge for two purposes: reusing existing knowledge and creating new knowledge. The key activities that underpin both purposes are knowledge sharing and knowledge integration. There are two common misconceptions. The first one is that managing knowledge involves just documenting it so it can be shared. The second one is that managing knowledge involves just obtaining lessons learned at the end of the project, in order to use it in the future projects. Only codified explicit knowledge can be shared in this way. But codified explicit knowledge lacks context and is open to different interpretations, so even though it can easily be shared, it isn't always understood or applied in the right way. Tacit knowledge has context built in but is very difficult to codify. It resides in the minds of individual experts or in social groups and situations, and is normally shared through conversations and interactions between people. The most important part of knowledge management is creating an atmosphere of trust so that people are motivated to share their knowledge. In practice, knowledge is shared using a mixture of knowledge management tools and techniques, interactions between people, and information management tools and techniques, in which people codify part of their explicit knowledge by documenting it so it can be shared. An oil and gas company has many project teams in different regions. Each group of project teams in one region has different systems, processes, and applications and share their knowledge with the other teams. How can the project managers manage project knowledge? A. Develop a consolidated report. B. Select the most effective tool or process. C. Send team members to work with other teams. D. Consolidate sharing processes. Let us see the answer. A. Develop a consolidated report. Incorrect. B. Select the most effective tool or process. Incorrect. C. Send team members to work with other teams. Incorrect. D. Consolidate sharing processes. Correct. An oil and gas company has many project teams in different regions. Due to the huge size of the company and its mega projects, the management realizes the need for maintaining the accumulated knowledge and lessons learned for future projects. Which of the following will the management need to remember when managing knowledge on those projects? A. Knowledge is shared using information management tools and techniques only. B. Tacit knowledge has context built in but is very difficult to codify. C. Knowledge is shared using knowledge management tools and techniques only. D. Trust is not important to share knowledge. Let us see the answer. A. Knowledge is shared using information management tools and techniques only. Incorrect. B. Tacit knowledge has context built in but is very difficult to codify. Correct. C. Knowledge is shared using knowledge management tools and techniques only. Incorrect. D. Trust is not important to share knowledge. Incorrect. When completing an iteration, the project manager finds multiple mistakes in the requirements documents. What should be done next? A. Wait until the end of the project to document it. B. Replace the Scrum Master. C. Ignore the mistakes since the iteration is completed. D. Document the knowledge into the lessons learned register and apply the lessons learned to the next iteration. Let us see the answer. A. Wait until the end of the project to document it. Incorrect. B. Replace the Scrum Master. Incorrect. C. Ignore the mistakes since the iteration is completed. Incorrect. D. Document the knowledge into the lessons learned register and apply the lessons learned to the next iteration. Correct. After having a joint venture between 3 companies, the organization now has a lot of knowledge and project management with the knowledgeable teams. The management wants to take advantage of knowledge available within the organization to better manage their current project. What should they do? A. Create an atmosphere of trust so that people are motivated to share their knowledge. B. Use the management power to force the teams to share their knowledge. C. Concentrate on the explicit knowledge. D. Concentrate on the tacit knowledge. Let us see the answer. A. Create an atmosphere of trust so that people are motivated to share their knowledge. Correct. B. Use the management power to force the teams to share their knowledge. Incorrect. C. Concentrate on the explicit knowledge. Incorrect. D. Concentrate on the tacit knowledge. Incorrect. Retrospective is an opportunity at the end of each iteration to let the team share their knowledge. What is the best approach for the project manager to make the best of the retrospective for sharing knowledge? A. Collect the lessons learned in each retrospective to be used in the next project. B. Work with the team to establish an atmosphere of trust. C. Use the management power to force the teams to share their knowledge. D. Concentrate on the tacit knowledge. Let us see the answer. A. Collect the lessons learned in each retrospective to be used in the next project. Incorrect. B. Work with the team to establish an atmosphere of trust. Correct. C. Use the management power to force the teams to share their knowledge. Incorrect. D. Concentrate on the tacit knowledge. Incorrect. To get the best knowledge of the lessons learned repository for his current project, a project manager reviews the documents in the previous project's retrospectives, but he is not able to understand some of the information. What should the project manager do in the next iteration's retrospectives? A. Ensure other projects team members attend coming retrospectives to share tacit knowledge. B. Ensure that explicit knowledge is documented. C. Ensure that tacit knowledge is documented. D. Exclude explicit knowledge from being documented in the lessons learned repository. Let us see the answer. A. Ensure other projects team members attend coming retrospectives to share tacit knowledge. Correct. B. Ensure that explicit knowledge is documented. Incorrect. C. Ensure that tacit knowledge is documented. Incorrect. D. Exclude explicit knowledge from being documented in the lessons learned repository. Incorrect. A new project manager is taking over a project from a senior project manager. The senior project manager wants to ensure that the knowledge gained during this project is used for the benefit of future projects. What is the advice of the senior project manager to the new project manager? A. Retrospective meetings should be conducted to share knowledge. B. Only tacit knowledge should be documented in the lessons learned register. C. No need to transfer the knowledge from the lessons learned register to lessons learned repository. D. Only explicit knowledge should be documented in the lessons learned register. Let us see the answer. A. Retrospective meetings should be conducted to share knowledge. Correct. B. Only tacit knowledge should be documented in the lessons learned register. Incorrect. C. No need to transfer the knowledge from the lessons learned register to lessons learned repository. Incorrect. D. Only explicit knowledge should be documented in the lessons learned register. Incorrect. Inputs of managed project knowledge. Project management plan. All components of the project management plan are inputs. The lessons learned register provides information on effective practices in knowledge management. Project team assignments provide information on the type of competencies and experience available in the project and the knowledge that may be missing. The resource breakdown structure includes information on the composition of the team and may help to understand what knowledge is available as a group and what knowledge is missing to find the gap. The stakeholder register contains details about the identified stakeholders to help understand the knowledge they may have. Deliverables. A deliverable is any unique and verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service that is required to be produced to complete a process, phase, or project. Deliverables are typically tangible components completed to meet the project objectives and can include components of the project management plan. The enterprise environmental factors that can influence the managed project knowledge process include organizational, stakeholder, and customer culture. The existence of trusting working relationships and a no-blame culture is particularly important in managing knowledge. Other factors include the value placed on learning and social behavioral norms. Geographic distribution of facilities and resources. The location of team members helps determine methods for gaining and sharing knowledge. Organizational knowledge experts. Some organizations have a team or individual that specializes in knowledge management. Legal and regulatory requirements or constraints. These include confidentiality of project information. Organizational process assets. The organizational process assets that can influence the managed project knowledge process include organizational standard policies, processes, and procedures. These may include confidentiality and access to information, security and data protection, record retention policies, use of copyrighted information, destruction of classified information, format and maximum size of files, registry data and metadata, and authorized technology and social media. Personnel administration. These include, for example, employee development and training records, and competency frameworks that refer to knowledge-sharing behaviors. Organizational communication requirements. Formal, rigid communication requirements are good for sharing information. Informal communication is more effective for creating new knowledge and integrating knowledge across diverse stakeholder groups. Formal knowledge sharing and information sharing procedures. These include learning reviews before, during, and after projects and project phases, For example, identifying, capturing, and sharing lessons learned from the current project and other projects. A new project manager understands that his team does not have some of the required knowledge to execute the project. He is looking for a document that can help him identify the knowledge gap in his team. Which document can help him in finding this gap? A. Resource calendar. B. Resource requirements. C. Resource breakdown structure. D. Project team assignments. Let us see the answer. A. Resource calendar. Incorrect. B. Resource requirements. Incorrect. C. Resource breakdown structure. Correct. D. Project team assignments. Incorrect. A project manager in a petrochemical complex project wants to ensure using existing knowledge and creating new knowledge to achieve the project's objectives and contribute to organizational learning. Therefore, he uses enterprise environmental factors such as value placed on learning and social behavioral norms. Which one of the following statements is correct? A. Trusting working relationships and no-blame culture is not important for a team in a storming phase. B. Confidentiality of information for patients in a hospital is part of the enterprise environmental factors. C. Organizational knowledge expert is not important for a complex project. D. The location of team members does not help determine methods for gaining and sharing knowledge. Answer. A. Trusting working relationships and no-blame culture is not important for a team in a storming phase. Incorrect. B. Confidentiality of information for patients in a hospital is part of the enterprise environmental factors. Correct. C. Organizational knowledge expert is not important for a complex project. Incorrect. D. The location of team members does not help determine methods for gaining and sharing knowledge. Incorrect. A project to design an information system for a Ministry of Interior Affairs to manage the data of the citizens. Which one of the following is the highest priority when dealing with the citizens' information? A. Confidentiality of personal data. B. How citizens retrieve their data from the system. C. How system administrator changes procedures. D. How developer design the screen. Let us see the answer. A. Confidentiality of personal data. Correct. B. How citizens retrieve their data from the system. Incorrect. C. How system administrator changes procedures. Incorrect. D. How developer design the screen. Incorrect. Tools and techniques of managed project knowledge. Expert judgment. Expertise should be considered from individuals with specialized knowledge in the following topics: knowledge management, information management, organizational learning, knowledge and information management tools, and relevant information from other projects. Knowledge management. Knowledge management tools and techniques connect people so they can work together to create new knowledge, share tacit knowledge, and integrate the knowledge of diverse team members. Tools and techniques include networking, including informal social interaction and online social networking, communities of practice and special interest groups, meetings, including virtual meetings where participants can interact using communications technology, work shadowing and reverse shadowing, discussion forums such as focus groups, knowledge sharing events such as seminars and conferences, workshops, including problem-solving sessions and learning reviews to identify lessons learned, storytelling, creativity and ideas management techniques, knowledge fairs and cafes, and training that involves interaction between learners. Information management. Information management tools and techniques are used to create and connect people to information. They are effective for sharing simple, unambiguous, codified explicit knowledge. They include methods for codifying explicit knowledge, lessons learned register, library services, information gathering, for example, web searches, and Project management information systems often include document management systems. Tools and techniques that connect people to information can be enhanced by adding an element of interaction. For example, include a contact me function so users can get in touch with the originators of the lessons and ask for advice specific to their project and context. Interaction and support also helps people find relevant information. Asking for help is generally quicker and easier than trying to identify search terms. Search terms are often difficult to select because people may not know which keywords or key phrases to use to access the information they need. Knowledge and information management tools and techniques should be connected to project processes and process owners. Communities of practice and subject matter experts, for example, may generate insights that lead to improved control processes. Having an internal sponsor can ensure improvements are implemented. Lessons learned register entries may be analyzed to identify common issues that can be addressed by changes to project procedures. A medical complex project has a lot of information and systems since it is a large and complex project with many stakeholders. The challenge to the management in this project is how to make stakeholders locate the materials and the information they need. What is the best approach to overcome this challenge? A. Have a weekly report for the stakeholders. B. Have a website for each stakeholder. C. Set up an information management system to store, share, and codify the project's knowledge. D. Keep updating the stakeholders about each issue manually. Let us see the answer. A. Have a weekly report for the stakeholders. Incorrect. B. Have a website for each stakeholder. Incorrect. C. Set up an information management system to store, share, and codify the project's knowledge. Correct. D. Keep updating the stakeholders about each issue manually. Incorrect. In a new medical complex project, the management wants to ensure the existence of one of the enterprise environmental factors such as trusting working relationships to motivate the team and stakeholders to share their knowledge. Which tool or technique can be used? A. Methods for codifying explicit knowledge. B. Library services. C. Networking. D. Web searching. Let us see the answer. A. Methods for codifying explicit knowledge. Incorrect. B. Library services. Incorrect. C. Networking. Correct. D. Web searching. Incorrect. A new social sciences university project is in execution phase. This type of science has a lot of tacit knowledge that needs to be shared between stakeholders. Which of the following is a suitable tool or technique to share tacit knowledge? Select 3. A. Networking. B. Virtual meetings. C. Focus group. D. Lessons learned repository. Let us see the answer. A. Networking. Correct. B. Virtual meetings. Correct. C. Focus group. Correct. D. Lessons learned repository. Incorrect. A new social sciences university project is in execution phase. The management wants to ensure that the project team has the tools and techniques to connect people to information. Therefore, they include the methods for codifying explicit knowledge, lessons learned register, library services, information gathering, and project management information systems. Which tools and techniques are used? A. Knowledge sharing events. B. Information management. C. Knowledge management. D. Knowledge fairs. Let us see the answer. A. Knowledge sharing events. Incorrect. B. Information management. Correct. C. Knowledge management. Incorrect. D. Knowledge fairs. Incorrect. A project manager wants to ensure that the project team has the tools and techniques to connect people to information such as library services. What project management process is being performed? A. Manage project knowledge. B. Develop communication plan. C. Develop resource management plan. D. Resource breakdown structure. Let us see the answer. A. Manage project knowledge. Correct. B. Develop communication plan. Incorrect. C. Develop resource management plan. Incorrect. D. Resource breakdown structure. Incorrect. The interpersonal and team skills used include active listening. Active listening helps reduce misunderstandings and improves communication and knowledge sharing. Facilitation. Facilitation helps effectively guide a group to a successful decision, solution, or conclusion. Leadership. Leadership is used to communicate the vision and inspire the project team to focus on the appropriate knowledge and knowledge objectives. Networking. Networking allows informal connections and relations among project stakeholders to be established and creates the conditions to share tacit and explicit knowledge. Political awareness. Political awareness helps the project manager to plan communications based on the project environment as well as the organization's political environment. Outputs of managed project knowledge. Lessons learned register. The lessons learned register can include the category and description of the situation. The lessons learned register may also include the impact, recommendations, and proposed actions associated with the situation. The lessons learned register may record challenges, problems, realized risks and opportunities, or other content as appropriate. The lessons learned register is created as an output of this process early in the project. Thereafter it is used as an input and updated as an output in many processes throughout the project. The persons or teams involved in the work are also involved in capturing the lessons learned. Knowledge can be documented using videos, pictures, audios, or other suitable means that ensure the efficiency of the lessons captured. At the end of a project or phase, the information is transferred to an organizational process asset called a lessons learned repository. Project management plan updates. Any change to the project management plan goes through the organization's change control process via a change request. Any component of the project management plan may be updated as a result of this process. Organizational process assets updates. All projects create new knowledge. Some of this knowledge is codified, embedded in deliverables, or embedded in improvements to processes and procedures as a result of the managed project knowledge process. Existing knowledge can also be codified or embedded for the first time as a result of this process. For example, if an existing idea for a new procedure is piloted in the project and found to be successful. Any organizational process asset can be updated as a result of this process. An aluminum company has built a complete complex of a refinery, a smelter, and a rolling mill. Information management tools and techniques have been used to document all the knowledge gained throughout the project. Where would a new project manager find this information when planning for his future similar project? A. Lessons learned register. B. Issue log. C. Project management information systems. D. Lessons learned repository. Let us see the answer. A. Lessons learned register. Incorrect. B. Issue log. Incorrect. C. Project management information systems. Incorrect. D. Lessons learned repository. Correct. Monitor and control project work. Monitor and control project work is the process of tracking, reviewing, and reporting the overall progress to meet the performance objectives defined in the project management plan. Monitoring is an aspect of project management performed throughout the project. Monitoring includes collecting, measuring, and assessing measurements and trends to affect process improvements. Continuous monitoring gives the project management team insight into the health of the project and identifies any areas that may require special attention. Control includes determining corrective or preventive actions or replanning and following up on action plans to determine whether the actions taken resolve the performance issue. The monitor and control project work process is concerned with comparing actual project performance against the project management plan. Assessing performance periodically to determine whether any corrective or preventive actions are indicated, and then recommending those actions as necessary. Checking the status of individual project risks. Maintaining an accurate, timely information base concerning the project's product. Providing information to support status reporting, progress measurement, and forecasting. Providing forecasts to update current cost and current schedule information. Monitoring implementation of approved changes as they occur. Providing appropriate reporting on project progress and status to program management, and ensuring that the project stays aligned with the business needs. In a pharmaceutical project, the project manager is tracking, reviewing, and reporting the overall progress to meet the performance objectives defined in the project management plan. Which of the following activities is the project manager least likely to conduct during this process? A. Ensuring that the project stays aligned with the business needs. B. Comparing actual project performance against the project management plan. C. Updating business case and project charter. D. Assessing performance periodically to determine whether any corrective or preventive actions are indicated. Let us see the answer. A. Ensuring that the project stays aligned with the business needs. Incorrect. B. Comparing actual project performance against the project management plan. Incorrect. Updating business case and project charter. Correct. This activity is the project manager least likely to conduct during this process. D. Assessing performance periodically to determine whether any corrective or preventive actions are indicated. Incorrect. Inputs of monitor and control project work. Project management plan. Monitoring and controlling project work involves looking at all aspects of the project. Any component of the project management plan may be an input for this process. The assumption log contains information about assumptions and constraints affecting the project. Basis of estimates indicates how the various estimates were derived and can be used to make a decision on how to respond to variances. Cost forecasts. Based on the project's past performance, the cost forecasts are used to determine if the project is within defined tolerance ranges for budget and to identify any necessary change requests. The issue log is used to document and monitor who is responsible for resolving specific issues by a target date. The lessons learned register may have information on effective responses for variances, and corrective and preventive actions. The milestone list shows the scheduled dates for specific milestones and is used to check if the planned milestones have been met. The quality report includes quality management issues, recommendations for process, project, and product improvements, corrective actions recommendations, includes rework, defect/bugs repair, 100% inspection, and more, and the summary of findings from the control quality process. The risk register provides information on threats and opportunities that have occurred during project execution. The risk report provides information on the overall project risks as well as information on specified individual risks. Schedule forecasts. Based on the project's past performance, the schedule forecasts are used to determine if the project is within defined tolerance ranges for schedule. In a seawater pipeline bypass installation project, both a project engineer and a third-party inspector documents in the same document that equipment will be laid in the job site and curing time for some products will take longer time. Therefore, this will affect the schedule of the project. What should the project manager do next? A. Issue a change request. B. Have a meeting with the contractor. C. Assign a responsible party to follow up on the problem and update the issue log. D. Update the management. Let us see the answer. A. Issue a change request. Incorrect. B. Have a meeting with the contractor. Incorrect. C. Assign a responsible party to follow up on the problem and update the issue log. Correct. The document is the issue log, so the responsible party should be assigned. D. Update the management about the status of the project. Incorrect. Work performance information. Work performance data is gathered through work execution and passed to the controlling processes. To become work performance information, the work performance data are compared with the project management plan components, project documents, and other project variables. This comparison indicates how the project is performing. Specific work performance metrics for scope, schedule, budget, and quality are defined at the start of the project as part of the project management plan. Performance data are collected during the project through the controlling processes and compared to the plan and other variables to provide a context for work performance. For example, work performance data on cost may include funds that have been expended. However, to be useful, that data has to be compared to the budget, the work that was performed, the resources used to accomplish the work, and the funding schedule. This additional information provides the context to determine if the project is on budget or if there is a variance. It also indicates the degree of variance from the plan, and by comparing it to the variance thresholds in the project management plan it can indicate if preventive or corrective action is required. Agreements. A procurement agreement includes terms and conditions, and may incorporate other items that the buyer specifies regarding what the seller is to perform or provide. If the project is outsourcing part of the work, the project manager needs to oversee the contractor's work to make certain that all the agreements meet the specific needs of the project while adhering to organizational procurement policies. The enterprise environmental factors that can influence the monitor and control project work process include project management information systems such as scheduling, cost, resourcing tools, performance indicators, databases, project records, and financials. Infrastructure, for example, existing facilities and equipment, organizations' telecommunications channels. Stakeholders' expectations and risk thresholds, and government or industry standards, for example regulatory agency regulations, product standards, quality standards, and workmanship standards. The organizational process assets that can influence the monitor and control project work process include organizational standard policies, processes, and procedures. Financial controls procedures, for example required expenditure and disbursement reviews, accounting codes, and standard contract provisions. Monitoring and reporting methods. Issue management procedures defining issue controls, issue identification, and resolution and action item tracking. Defect management procedures defining defect controls, defect identification, and resolution and action item tracking, and organizational knowledge base, in particular process measurement and the lessons learned repository. The management needs to know how healthy the status of the project is, therefore the project manager responds that in 12 weeks $200,000 has been spent and 14 change requests have been completed. The management are not satisfied with this response. What is wrong with the project manager response? A. The project manager provides work performance data instead of work performance information. B. The project manager provides work performance information instead of work performance data. C. The project manager provides cost baseline information. D. The project manager provides schedule baseline information. Let us see the answer. A. The project manager provides work performance data instead of work performance information. Correct. B. The project manager provides work performance information instead of work performance data. Incorrect. C. The project manager provides cost baseline information. Incorrect. D. The project manager provides schedule baseline information. Incorrect. A project of a group of hospitals is managed by the client with a contractor through a long-term contract. The client project manager who is new to the project notices that some critical materials for the project keep missing from the storehouse. What should he do first to solve this problem? A. Review the organizational process assets. B. Review the enterprise environmental factors. C. Review the project management plan. D. Review the project documents. Let us see the answer. A. Review the organizational process assets. Correct. Since it is a long-term contract, it is very likely that this issue has been encountered in previous projects. Before taking any action to address this issue, it is best to take advantage of the knowledge gained over the long period the company has been in business to determine the best course of action. The organizational process assets include the lessons learned repository, The Lessons Learned repository is an archive of knowledge gained from past projects, which can be used to improve performance on your current project. B. Review the enterprise environmental factors. Incorrect. C. Review the project management plan. Incorrect. D. Review the project documents. Incorrect. A water company wants to install pipeline under a highway and needs the approvals from a private company that operate the highways in this city. The new project manager wants to know how the previous similar projects have been approved. What can he do to incorporate knowledge gained from the previous project into his project? Learn from the tacit knowledge. Utilize the organizational knowledge base. C. Implement risk response plan. D. Review the issue log. Let us see the answer. A. Learn from the tacit knowledge. Incorrect. B. Utilize the organizational knowledge base. Correct. C. Implement risk response plan. Incorrect. D. Review the issue log. Incorrect. In a petrochemical project, there are delays in the long lead items, gaps in the knowledge of the project team, and late startup of the contractors. The project manager wants his current and future projects to run more smoothly. Which one of the following can proactively promote continuous improvement? Select 3. A. Retrospectives. B. Lessons learned meeting. C. Updating risk register. D. Updating the organizational knowledge base. Let us see the answer. A. Retrospectives. Correct. B. Lessons learned meeting. Correct. C. Updating risk register. Incorrect. D. Updating the organizational knowledge base. Correct. Tools and techniques of monitor and control project work. Expert judgment. Expertise should be considered from individuals or groups with specialized knowledge or training in the following topics. Earned value analysis. Interpretation and contextualization of data. Techniques to estimate duration and costs. Trend analysis. Technical knowledge on the industry and focus area of the project. Risk management, and contract management. Alternatives analysis is used to select the corrective actions or a combination of corrective and preventive actions to implement when a deviation occurs. Cost-benefit analysis helps to determine the best corrective action in terms of cost in case of project deviations. Earned value analysis. Earned value provides an integrated perspective on scope, schedule, and cost performance. Root cause analysis focuses on identifying the main reasons of a problem. It can be used to identify the reasons for a deviation and the areas the project manager should focus on in order to achieve the objectives of the project. Trend analysis is used to forecast future performance based on past results. The results of trend analysis can be used to recommend preventive actions if necessary. Variance analysis reviews the differences between planned and actual performance. This can include duration estimates, cost estimates, resources utilization, resources rates, technical performance, and other metrics. This allows for the appropriate preventive or corrective actions to be initiated. Voting can include making decisions based on unanimity, majority, or plurality. Meetings may include project team members and other project stakeholders when appropriate. Since there is a deviation in the schedule of the project while the project is under budget, one of the team members wants to apply a corrective action while another one wants to apply a combination of a corrective and preventive action. Which technique can consider applying either one of the options? A. Cost-benefit analysis. B. Root cause analysis. C. Alternatives analysis. D. Trend analysis. Let us see the answer. A. Cost-benefit analysis. Incorrect. B. Root cause analysis. Incorrect. C. Alternatives analysis. Correct. D. Trend analysis. Incorrect. In direct and manage project work process, The project manager finds that the project spent $320,000 in 11 weeks. When he compares this actual cost to the budget in control cost process, he finds that the project is over budget. In what process does the project manager determine that the project budget should be increased? A. In control cost process. B. In monitor and control project work process. C. In controlling processes. D. In control risk process. Let us see the answer. A. In control cost process. Incorrect. B. In monitor and control project work process. Correct. Work performance data is generated in the executing process group and used as an input to control cost process. Then control cost process generate work performance information used as an input to the monitor and control project work process. Then in the monitor and control project work process, the work performance information is analyzed and used to generate work performance reports, such as progress or status reports, which can be used to compare the plan against actual performance. It is at this juncture, in the monitor and control project work process, that a project manager would have the information to determine whether to increase the budget. C. In controlling processes. Incorrect. D. In control risk process. Incorrect. Based on the rig's performance evaluation in an oil drilling rigs company, it is found that the time spent for dismantling the rig from one location and installing it in another location is much more than the average international time. This situation demands the need to reduce the time. What is the best course of action? A. Perform a cost-benefit analysis. B. Perform a trend analysis. C. Perform a root cause analysis. D. Perform a variance analysis. Let us see the answer. A. Perform a cost-benefit analysis. Incorrect. B. Perform a trend analysis. Incorrect. C. Perform a root cause analysis. Correct. A root cause analysis can assist in identifying the root causes of a problem and solutions for change. By using root cause analysis, the underlying reason for the long time can be determined, and a solution can be identified. D. Perform a variance analysis. Incorrect. The project manager notices that in the last 12 weeks the project schedule is delayed sharply, which affects the performance of the project. What should the project manager do next? A. Conduct a trend analysis and root cause analysis to determine the reasons. B. Calculate risk reserves. C. Calculate variance analysis. D. Consult the change control board if this situation require a change request. Let us see the answer. A. Conduct a trend analysis and root cause analysis to determine the reasons. Correct. Trend analysis and root cause analysis are among the data analysis techniques that can be used as part of the monitor and control project work process described in the scenario. Trend analysis is used to forecast future performance based on past results. Root cause analysis seeks to determine the underlying reasons. In this scenario, it appears that there is a trend based on the project team's review of the performance reports. How much of a trend and to what extent those past results reflect the potential future of the project's costs is what needs to be explored via the trend analyses. If any pattern or patterns are identified, then getting to the potential root cause assists the project team in resolving the issue before it becomes worse or unmanageable. B. Calculate risk reserves. Incorrect. C. Calculate variance analysis. Incorrect. D. Consult the change control board if this situation require a change request. Incorrect. Due to the increase in fuel price and sharp change in exchange rates of currencies, the cost of resources such as equipment, materials and manpower keeps increasing. What can the project manager do to control the costs? A. Issue a change request. B. Utilize contingency reserves. C. Reduce the scope. D. Conduct an alternative analysis. Let us see the answer. A. Issue a change request. Incorrect. B. Utilize contingency reserves. Incorrect. C. Reduce the scope. Incorrect. D. Conduct an alternative analysis. Correct. As resource costs rise over the course of the project team must seek ways to control the costs to remain within the boundaries established for the project. The team can consider various options for the resources, such as using different materials, using fewer materials, using a different supplier, removing the need to use the resource at all, and so on. Outputs of monitor and control project work. Work performance reports. Work performance information is combined, recorded, and distributed in a physical or electronic form. Work performance reports are the physical or electronic representation of work performance information. Examples of work performance reports include status reports and progress reports. Work performance reports can contain earned value graphs and information, trend lines and forecasts, reserve burndown charts, defect histograms, contract performance information, and risk summaries. They can be presented as dashboards, heat reports, stoplight charts, or other representations useful for creating awareness and generating decisions and actions. Change requests. As a result of comparing planned results to actual results, change requests may be issued to expand, adjust, or reduce project scope, product scope, or quality requirements and schedule or cost baselines. Changes can impact the project management plan, project documents, or product deliverables. Change requests are processed for review and disposition through the Perform Integrated Change Control process. Changes may include: corrective action is an intentional activity that realigns the performance of the project work with the project management plan. Preventive action is an intentional activity that ensures the future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. Defect repair is an intentional activity that modifies a non-conforming product or product component. Project management plan updates. Any change to the project management plan goes through the organization's change control process via a change request. Changes identified during the monitor and control project work process may affect the overall project management plan. In direct and manage project work process, the project manager finds that the project spent $320,000 in 11 weeks. When he compares this actual cost to the budget in control cost process, he finds that the project is over budget. The project manager determined that a change request is required to increase the budget through a corrective action. This request would be an outcome of which of the following processes? A. Monitor and control project work process. B. Control cost process. C. Direct and manage project work. D. Control risk process. Let us see the answer. A. Monitor and control project work process. Correct. The scenario describes a project that is over budget. Such a determination could have been a result of comparing the actual cost with the cost baseline. Reviewing the differences between planned and actual project performance is known as variance analysis. Variance analysis is one of the tools and techniques of the monitor and control project work process. When issues are found during the monitor and control project work process, change requests are submitted to rectify the problem. B. Control cost process. Incorrect. C. Direct and manage project work. Incorrect. D. Control risk process. Incorrect. A defensive ministry wants to replace the current radar system with another one that has a range of 200 miles. During the execution of the project, it is found that the available radar system has a range of 150 miles only. To meet the requirements of 200 miles range, the schedule will be impacted. What should the project manager do? A. Submit a change request. B. Fast-track the project schedule. C. Increase the budget. D. Identify the risk. Let us see the answer. A. Submit a change request. Correct. In this scenario, it is found that a variance will affect the project's ability to meet the approved scope. By submitting a change request, the project manager is ensuring that only official changes are made to the scope. Regardless of the schedule pressure, the The project manager should ensure changes are handled properly. B. Fast-track the project schedule. Incorrect. C. Increase the budget. Incorrect. D. Identify the risk. Incorrect. Project documents updates. Project documents that may be updated as a result of carrying out this process include cost forecasts. Changes in cost forecasts resulting from this process are recorded using cost management processes. Issue log. New issues raised as a result of this process are recorded in the issue log. Lessons learned register. The lessons learned register is updated with effective responses for variances and corrective and preventive actions. Risk register. New risks identified during this process are recorded in the risk register and managed using the risk management processes. Schedule forecasts. Changes in schedule forecasts resulting from this process are recorded using schedule management processes. While performing the process of monitoring the progress of the project, a project manager has many problems in his project, such as delayed materials delivery, knowledge gaps in human resources, cost overrun, and lack of reliable logistics. The project manager will be assigned to another project. What is the best course of action for the project manager? A. Document the lessons learned in the lessons learned register. B. Issue a change request. C. Update the project management plan. D. Utilize the management reserves. Let us see the answer. A. Document the lessons learned in the lessons learned register. Correct. B. Issue a change request. Incorrect. C. Update the project management plan. Incorrect. D. Utilize the management reserves. Incorrect.